Hey, what's up everyone? PersNikity here. Welcome back to the Uncharted 4 Crushing Difficulty walkthrough, and this is it. We're at the end. We have reached the epilogue of the game. Now it's going to start off with you playing Crash Bandicoot once again, and you're going to see here that I wasn't even able to beat the level. That's because this Crash Bandicoot, you have to play with the D-pad, and I cannot do it. I'm terrible with the D-pad, and it's funny because at the time of recording this voiceover, I actually have a walkthrough on my channel for getting 100% in Crash Bandicoot, but it's the new remaster version where you can use the joystick. So that's the only reason I was able to get 100 is because I could use the joystick. So it's a little embarrassing that I couldn't even get through this level for you. But, oh well, that's not the point. Now, I should point out that there's a trophy in the game called High Score, and you get it for beating Elena's high score. It's actually impossible to get that trophy the first time you play this game way back in Chapter 4. This is where you have to get it. So here you can actually beat the high score, and this is where you get that trophy. But yeah, guys, this is the epilogue. And I know that at the time that I'm making this walkthrough, the game is already over a year old, so there's not really any mystery here. I'm pretty sure most people watching this are going to know who I'm playing as, but I'll go ahead and wait for the reveal. But yeah, this is the end of the walkthrough, and I gotta say, you know, I always have a mixed range of emotions when I finish a walkthrough. You know, part of me is kind of happy that, you know, it's another walkthrough under my belt. Part of me is proud because I worked hard on this. But always there's a part of me that's a little sad because once I finish a walkthrough for a game, I'm probably not going to play this game again for a long time. You know, I'm probably not going to play the game again for a long time, and I'm also not going to do anything for YouTube with this game. And for this walkthrough, it's kind of a special occasion because I'm sad, but I'm also a little more sad because not only am I done with the Uncharted 4 walkthrough, I'm done with the Uncharted series, basically. On my channel, I have walkthroughs up for Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and now 4. All on their hardest difficulties, and so it's a little sad to, you know, the Uncharted franchise has been very good to me, and it's, you know, I'm gonna have the whole thing on my channel, so that's a little sad. Of course, Uncharted Lost Legacy is gonna be coming out pretty soon, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm a little skeptical about it, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless, and I plan on playing it when it comes out, and so then, you know, I'll be a little happy because I'll be able to bring another Uncharted game to my channel. But here you go. You see there, I'm a little embarrassed. I wasn't able to beat the high score. I wasn't even able to complete the level. But here you go, guys. So this is the big reveal. Who are we playing as? Drake? Elena? No. We are playing as a new character.
Where are they?
So, as if you couldn't already guess, this is Drake and Elena's daughter, and we're gonna get to play as her in the epilogue, and it's a really cool thing. It's just amazing because this epilogue really, it kind of gets me going because Uncharted is my favorite gaming franchise of all time, and I just look back towards Uncharted 1 before Drake even knew Elena. They were just strangers to each other who didn't trust each other, and you know, to see the franchise evolve as far as it has, to the point where now they have a kid, and this kid is going to grow up to be the next treasure hunting archaeologist, and it's just it's really cool. It's a really cool thing for them to throw this in here, and I gotta say, a lot of franchises have a hard time ending. They have a hard time giving a good ending. Like, obviously, I know I never played the games, but I know like Mass Effect had one of the most notorious endings ever. A lot of people hated it, but Naughty Dog delivered here. They really did wrap up their franchise well, and I was very satisfied with the outcome.
So cool.
Now, in terms of the epilogue here, you can go ahead and just go straight to your objective and not look around at anything. But since this is the last level, I'm going to go ahead and just show you everything that I could find here. So there is the dog, you'll have noticed. The dog, I believe the dog's name is Vicky. And that goes back to a little Easter egg where there was an earlier moment in the game where Drake made a remark that he would name his dog after Sully. And so obviously Victor Sullivan, so the dog is named Vicky. And I think that's the connection they were trying to make. Now, right here, the dog was supposed to follow me, but for some reason she didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and just backtrack here a bit because I must have missed something. So you can toy around with the record player. She really does look like a mixture of Drake and Elena. So obviously she should, but I don't know. It's really cool. But yeah, so she has a fantastic life. You're going to see the outside of her house in a second. They have a beachfront house. Her parents, you know, one parent is a famed treasure hunter. The other is the journalist and television person that captures it all. So obviously she grows up into this life of archaeology. Really cool for her. So here you go. You can go ahead and feed Vicky the treats. And it's funny because she'll say just one. I think her name's Claire. I want to say it's Claire. I can't remember right now. You'll learn that later on in the cutscene at the end. But you can actually give the dog a second treat, and then she says, "This is the last one for today." And then I think you can do a third one. Okay, maybe you can't. I thought you could do a third one, but it's still funny that you can do a second one. So now we're going to venture into the living room here. Kitchen. And go ahead and grab an apple or something.
Here we go.
And then so right here, this is a really cool part. If you turn around and look at the counter, there's a letter you can pick up, and it's from Sully and Sam. It's from Sully and Sam. So you see here, you can read it.
Sam and Sully are
and there's a picture of them too, and you can see Sully looks even older. But those two are together doing whatever it is they do. And then if you want to, you can go ahead and pause the screen here and read this. But it's really cool. Believe it or not, the first time I played the epilogue, I actually assumed that this was far enough in the future where Sully was dead. I just kind of assumed that he had passed away, and they didn't mention it. But so I was really happy the second time I played this right now when I recorded it, and I found that letter and found out that Sully's still alive. That was a really good thing for me to figure out. I can't believe I didn't see that on my first playthrough. But now you can see the outside of their house. I mean, it's magnificent where they live. They live literally with no neighbors, right on the coast of the water. You couldn't ask for a better life. But so interesting thing. So at this point, most of you are going to know that in Lost Legacy, the main two characters are Chloe and Nadine. One thing that Naughty Dog's considering, they've actually said that they were originally planning to do a story with Sully and Drake, because or not Drake, Sully and Sam. And if you watch the cutscene at the end of the last video, you'll see that Sam, he asks Sully, like Sully says, I'm going to work a job, and Sam's like, hey, you got any room for another one, for another person? So you kind of are left with this idea that those two are going to team up. And then, in fact, you can see kind of in that letter that they did team up. So it would be a really, it'd be a possibility for Naughty Dog to revisit that and kind of say, what were Sam and Sully up to? You know, this whole time where Drake is doing his thing with Elena, what are Sam and Sully up to? So, I don't know, cool little thoughts.
Really? Fine, I'll find it myself.
All right, so the dog's going to stay there. And you're going to see this little house on the right. This is also part of their property, and we're going to go in there to progress through the rest of the game. There's some cool things to see in here too, and then basically there's going to be a cutscene at the end, and then I'll sign off at the very end of the video where I show you the trophies unlocking. I actually got the platinum trophy here, but anyway. Here you can see this is probably Drake's study house. So you see right here his map where he's probably trying to find where the next big treasure is. If you turn around from here, you'll see a little archaeology staging area. So they're trying to put all the pieces together.
Whoa. Good job cleaning this up.
And remember, everything they're doing now is legal. Drake and Elena, they're living the legal life. They're basically treasure hunting together, and they're documenting it all. And they're at this point, they're probably like celebrities, because if you look at the wall right here, you can see all these newspapers and magazine covers, and you'll see this logo that keeps saying like DNF Treasures, and that stands for Drake and Fisher. Fisher is Elena's last name. and you can kind of see all their documents highlighting their biggest finds and everything like that. And you can even see in the lower right-hand corner, there's a picture of her. I think, actually, I said Claire earlier. I think it's Cassie, now that I remember. I think her name's Cassie, and she's going to grow up to be, you know, the future treasure hunter. And I even heard that Naughty Dog considered making a game with her as the treasure hunter, but I think they scrapped that idea because it's just a little too similar to Tomb Raider. Like, Lara Croft, her dad is an archaeologist, and then she picks it up and goes treasure hunting. And it would essentially be the same thing here. Drake is the treasure hunter, and then she grows up and becomes one too. So I think they scrapped that idea just because it was too similar to Tomb Raider. I don't know. It's always a possibility for the future, but who knows? Anyway, so now we are in the final part of the game. You'll see right here what I was talking about. So she's actually on the cover of Adventure Life, basically National Geographic. And it says treasure hunting runs in the family. And you could see her on the cover holding some sort of artifact.
He left his keys.
And so here we go. This is going to bring about the end. So Drake has his cabinet here. He left his keys.
No way.
So Cassie's finally going to get to see what her dad has been up to all these years. And I got to say, like, you're going to see at the end of the cutscene, Drake and Elena, they decide to tell her about all their adventures. And I kind of got to wonder, like, what is Drake going to tell her? Because he has killed hundreds of men, maybe even thousands. Like, throughout the Uncharted game, you kill so many people. And sure, those people were trying to kill him. Drake has never killed anyone out of cold blood. He's only ever killed people in self-defense. But, like, you still got to take that into account. Like, imagine learning that one of your parents has killed thousands of people. It wouldn't come easy. You know, that's a big thing to swallow. So, I don't know. I just always am curious to see that conversation go farther. But there's the artifact from Uncharted 3. That's the ring decoder. Go ahead and open this drawer here. You'll find the Shambhala, the Chintamani stone pieces. So these are basically the same artifacts that were way back in Chapter 4 in Drake's attic. The only thing now is Cassie's discovering them for the first time. Here's the little skull. Same, again, this is from before. But yeah, what you're going to do is you're just going to keep looking through here until there's nothing left to look at. And then you're going to be able to pick up the white journal, which of course belonged to Drake's mom. And inside are going to be a couple of pictures. And then that will pretty much do it as you're looking through. As you're looking through it, that's when Drake and Elena will come into play, and that's when the cutscene will occur. So yeah, guys, that's it. That is Uncharted 4, and that is the Uncharted franchise up to this point. Every game is on my channel, so if you missed anything, feel free to check those out. I always include all the cutscenes, and I never talk during the cutscenes, so that you can enjoy the full experience that these games have to offer. But yeah, I'm a little sad to see it go, but I want to thank you guys for joining me on this walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, feel free to leave a comment below letting me know what you thought about anything. If you did enjoy, feel free to subscribe. I'm always bringing walkthroughs like this, so you can join along on the adventure. And I think that's it. So without further ado, go ahead and enjoy the cutscene. I will sign off at the very end when the trophies unlock, and I will see you in Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Oh shit.
Hey, there you are.
Hey,
Been looking for you. What are you doing in here?
looking for you guys.
Come on, we loaded up the boat. It's ready.
Cool. I'll catch up with you guys in a sec.
Why?
I just need to,
What's up, Cassie?
Okay. Don't be mad. Hey, I said don't be mad.
Keys. So, what did you see?
Nothing really. Well, just that photo of you two and Sully. with a bunch of Spanish-looking treasure. And a shotgun.
This was bound to happen sometime. Maybe we should just tell her.
She's not ready for it.
Ready for what? All that crazy shit in there?
Language.
Yeah, language.
Sorry. But you guys are literally keeping skeletons in your closet. Or at least a silver skull of some kind.
No, I don't think I'm ready for this. Yeah.
Nate, it's time to have the talk.
Yeah, it's totally time. Wait, which talk are we talking about here?
She's just a kid.
She's older than you and Sam when you started all of
That
it.
is different, and you know it.
Okay, look, if you guys were into some shady stuff, it's totally cool. But I think I'm old enough to know about it, right?
Old enough. How old are you again?
Haha, funny. Mom?
All right.
Well, let's see. For me, it started when this guy called me up with a scoop on a massive historical find. It sounded like a complete fraud.
Yeah, handsome fraud.
No, I hadn't even met him
Oh,
yet.
she knew. She knew.
So this fraud says, if you fund the trip, then I'll give you the coffin of Sir Francis Drake.
And for the record, I totally delivered.
Yeah, you delivered us into the hands of Indonesian pirates.
No, come on. You know I had nothing to do with
Okay,
that.
guys, time out. You're saying that you were attacked by pirates after you found the coffin of Sir Francis Drake. Is that right?
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much it.
right.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Language.
Crap.
Better.
All right, so keep going.
You know what? The sun is up. Boat's ready. Wind is just right. You want to continue the story? I say we do it on the water. Come on.
Well, wait, what'd Francis Drake look like? Was it gross?
Actually, he wasn't in there. Yeah, just his journal with a map to El Dorado.
The City of Gold?
That's the legend. Turns out it was just a statue. A cursed statue.
No way, seriously?
Yeah, seriously. But I'll get back to that later. See, the map led us to the
Alright, and at the very end of the video here, we're going to return to the main menu. There is the trophy for beating the game on crushing, and then it just so happens that that was the last trophy I needed to get the platinum trophy, so I figured I would include that in here as well. One last time, thank you guys so much. Like and subscribe if you get the chance. I'll see you when Uncharted Lost Legacy comes out, and yeah, like I said, I'll see you in the next walkthrough.